Last week we talked about clearing the chaos out of your mind so you could finally see what matters, right? You could finally spend time with the things that are more important to you instead of just being busy. We talked about the difference between being busy and being productive. And we mentioned that the clarification guide was a tool you could start using to finally take control of your time. But here's the truth: having clarity is only half of the battle. Because what's the point of having clarity and having extra space in your calendar or your schedule if you're too drained to actually use it? Without your energy, nothing else matters. Because every single day, tiny things are called energy leaks, drain your energy. And sometimes we don't even notice it. And what happens is at the end of the day, we end up so exhausted, so tired mentally, especially to the point where we feel like we don't have enough energy to tackle the important things. So, in today's episode, I'm sharing 5 energy leaks that drain me and how you can potentially stop them. So, the first energy leak would be decision fatigue. You know, mom, those tiny tasks you have in your brain before leaving the house. What's gonna be for dinner? What am I gonna buy for the kid number one? When is the next appointment due? I need to get my nails done. Did I actually clean the microwave? I can keep going on and on. Those tiny little things that if you break them apart, they are insignificant. But having a bunch of those, they drain you. Like you have no idea. So the first thing we're gonna do is to stop that, because it doesn't matter how much time we might have. If we don't tackle those tiny energy leaks, guess what? We're gonna end up exhausted at the end of the day. By the time it's time for you to tackle the big things, right? As we spoke last week, to tackle the important things, the urgent things, we run out of our energy. Nothing, the tank is empty, and we don't want that. So this is what we're gonna do to tackle that issue. The number one thing we're gonna do to fix that is to automate the small things. For instance, if you're someone that you have to think every day what to make for dinner, what to cook for dinner, and then you have to go to HEB to get the stuff, you don't know if you have the ingredients available, mom, we gotta stop that. We're gonna think ahead of time, okay? Because your present self needs to help your future self succeed, okay? So, a night before, plan your week. I usually do that on Sundays. Sundays are my days to plan my week, especially when it comes to the kitchen and stuff like that. Like, I went to a boarding school as a kid, and we had a menu for the week. Everybody knew what was for dinner on Monday, what was for dinner on Tuesday, what was for lunch on Wednesday, what was for snack on Friday afternoon. So we didn't have a room to guess. Here and there we could be surprised with some goodies, but overall we had our menu set. So I want you to get that formula. On Sundays, well, you choose your day, but you have to plan your meals ahead of time. You can try to make salmon on a Wednesday night and then you don't have salmon, if that makes sense. If on Sunday you plan your meals, for dinner we're gonna have X, Y, and Z, guess what happens? Those days come by, you don't have to think about it anymore because you already made that decision. So future you gets to eat what you said already. And if you prepare that even better, or at least the majority of the things, if you're gonna do, for instance, pasta, I already have my ingredients chopped off and I put it on my fridge so that when it's time to make that dinner, I have my ingredients ready instead of chopping off everything over and over. And these days we have things on Amazon that can help you chop your ingredients even quicker. So another one can be, for instance, your outfits. As moms, we know what it means. Every household, everybody is aware of how chaotic it can become. Where's your shoes? Where's your socks? Where's your pen? Are you under this? Are you under that? Well, it's my household. I don't know about yours. So this is what we're gonna do. During the weekend, we're gonna choose everybody's outfit. Okay, and you can include your kids to this process. It's gonna be actually very fun for them, and that way they can start practicing how to make decisions ahead of time, right? Plan your week ahead of time. On Sundays, everybody's picking their outfit. In the morning, I have an idea already of what's gonna be my outfit for Monday to Friday. Same with my daughter. That way, we don't have to be fighting over that. If you choose your outfit on Sunday night, you know this shirt, oh, has a stain. You know, oh, this pants actually it doesn't fit me anymore because you planned that ahead of time. And during the week, you don't have to wake up and fight with those kiddos about what to wear, what not to wear, or yourself. Because sometimes we do wake up on time, but then we spend 40 minutes trying to figure out what we're going to put on. So we're taking that away. You see how we're saving energy over here, right? And as we spoke last week, we already have our priority classification guide to guide us through this process. So I'm guessing by now you're already using it and you already have your classification, meaning your important, your urgent in place. So part of the process as well. On Sunday or whenever you want to choose to do it, have all those things in place so that we're starting our Mondays with a clear mind. We know exactly what's going to be for dinner. We know exactly what's going to be for lunch. We know exactly what I'm going to be wearing. I know exactly what am I going to be doing. In my case, I know exactly if I'm doing YouTube, Instagram. We are not guessing. We are not frying our brains trying to figure out what to do and what not to do. Because every decision you remove gives you a piece of energy you use later on the things that matter the most to you. The leak energy number 2, the guilt. I don't know about you, but at some point in my life, I was so used to being so busy that sometimes when I had a few minutes or let's say 10-minute-ish time that I will try to sit down and just rest or just catch my breath, I'd feel guilty. Kind of like, no, we're supposed to be doing something while we're here. So moms are so guilty of this. So this is going to be our fix. What are we talking about today? We're talking about scheduling everything, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to schedule our free time as part of our task. The same way you schedule your kids' appointment to the doctor, appointment to soccer, or the same way you set an appointment to go get your nails done, guess what are we going to do? We're going to set an appointment for dolly time, for you time, mom. And that should be on your non-negotiable category. Because if you don't take care of this, you don't take care of this, mom, no. Okay? And it's very important for you to include your families in this stage, meaning let your kids know, okay, on Tuesday at 3 p.m. is mommy time, okay? If you have to put a sticker on your door and explain to them that this sticker means it's mommy time, do not disturb, okay? Even if you need help, 911 at this point, right? That's what we have the number. At this moment, please give me my 20 minutes. Please, can you please take care of the kids? Can you please take care of X, Y, and Z? Ask for help as well. Because sometimes we are so used to doing everything ourselves that we assume the other person is useless, right? Ask them. And yeah, they might not get things done the way you do it, but that's an issue for another day, okay? Right now, you have to focus on spending your 20 minutes on you, on something that matters directly to you. Not shopping for the kids, for the field trip, not looking at the house or the trip you're going to take with hobby. I'm talking about spending time for you only. Because you have to remember, rest is not a reward, okay? Rest is a field that you actually need to get your job done. And that brings me to the third energy leak, which is the autopilot yes. I know you want to help. I know you've used to people coming to you, and maybe some of us, we feel like we matter when people come to us, when people need our help, and you're so used to saying yes without thinking. Oh, can you? Yes. Even before people finish the sentences, you already offer the help. Or sometimes they're asking for a volunteer without thinking about it because you know nobody's going to do it. You say yes. So you made yourself so much, you made yourself available to everything to the point where it has become a rule. Okay, all the time is you. Okay, well, guess what? Not anymore. Because my goal for you today is to take control back. I want you to take back control on your time. So this is what we're going to do. Before you want to say yes to anybody out there, think, take a second and be like, okay, is this aligned to what I'm working on right now? If it doesn't, be sure and certain to let everybody know where you're standing. Because again, you don't want to be rude or anything like that, but they are used to a different version of you. So it's going to take some type of time for them to get used to that. But the sooner you let them know that, okay, I'm working towards this path now, the better. Saying no is you being kind to yourself. Saying no is giving your future self an opportunity to reach your goals. Saying no means saving energy for the things that actually matters to you and not everybody else. So practice that and let them know in a nicer way. You can say things like, let me get back to you on that, or let me check my schedule, or I'll, like, don't just say no, I'm not gonna do it, right? Because then we come in a little bit rough, and we don't want that either, right? But things like, oh, would you mind helping me on Sunday, whatever? You're like, okay, you know what? Let me get back to you because I want to make sure it doesn't interfere with my schedule, right? Maybe I have something important to do. Do this 1, 2, 3 times. They're gonna get a memo. They'll be like, don't even bother. And my friend, you're gonna be very, very, very happy. Okay, you're gonna have so much energy because I can't tell you how many times by being available for the wrong things, the wrong people, I end up being so angry at myself because I knew I needed that for me, but I gave it away for someone that won't even appreciate it. So this is your power. Take control. And with that being said, we're going to move to the next energy leak, which is going to be the negative self-talk. This is a big one, and sometimes even for myself, nobody's perfect over here, and that's the beauty of it, right? We're learning every day. You're always going to have this self-talk telling you things like you're not good enough, this is not the way, you're wasting your time, you failed again, you're not going to be able to accomplish this, you're not strong enough, you're not powerful enough, you're not confident enough, and X, Y, and Z. But I want you to stop and think. First of all, think of yourself as an external person, meaning when those things, oh, you're not good enough, Dolly, and I'm thinking about my bestie, am I going to be like, oh my gosh, you're not good enough to her? No, right? Even if I think so, because sometimes you have those friends or family members that you're like, I wish I can just say what is going in my mind, right? But you're like, no, you don't want to be mean, right? So you either keep quiet or you say, you know what, no, don't say that. Even sometimes they call themselves stupid. You're like, no, don't say that. Maybe blah, blah, blah. You make excuses, right? To smooth things out. Same concept over here. If you're not going to talk bad to someone else, don't do it to yourself. And when those bad thoughts come over, stop for a second and ask yourself, what will I say to someone I love right now? If the thought comes in like, oh my God, you're such a failure, Dolly, I will stop and be like, what will I say to Dolly if I loved her? I'll be like, Dolly, you're not a failure. Yeah, you might be struggling now, but we're trying to figure it out. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. And you do that with every single negative thought that comes out of your mind. And the more you practice this, the better you're going to get at it, to the point where your negative self-talk will be like, I'm giving up on her. She doesn't even listen to me anymore. Good. But that's exactly what we want. Because at the end of the day, you deserve the kindness you give everybody out there. If you're giving people kindness, give that kindness back to yourself. And now we're going to move to our next energy leak, and which is going to be this baby boy, okay? This boy, I don't know what to tell you. You already know. Is one of the biggest leaks out there, okay? One of the biggest energy leaks out there. The endless notification, the scrollings, the comparison game, you name it. I don't even have to mention it. Everybody knows what a phone is these days. Sometimes you pick that phone 1 second just to maybe send a quick reply, to check the time even, and you find yourself the next 45 minutes scrolling on Instagram for no reason. You can't even remember what was the last thing you saw. But guess what? You spend 45 minutes of your day scrolling on social media. So there's not much to say here. We all know how hard it is actually to live with our phones. And our phones is a blessing as long as you know how to use it. I'm always saying, everything is a blessing unless that thing controls you. Social media is not a bad thing. Your cell phone is not a bad thing. Your emails, all those things are not a bad thing as long as we are in control. Because the moment those things control us, that's where we lose the battle. So you have to create a sacred free time from your phone, right? Maybe it's the first hour in the morning when you wake up, no social media, no news, no anything. Or maybe it's going to be the last 3 hours before you go to bed, no social media, no phone. Or maybe it's when you're eating, no social media, no phone. You choose when to do it, but it has to be done, because if you keep yourself entertained or available to distractions, it takes a lot of your energy. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up exhausted and not have enough energy to tackle your goals. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to become a version of ourselves that get things done. But which things are we getting done? The ones that matter the most, the ones that our future self will be proud of, the ones that will take us forward to our goals instead of keeping us the same. And friend, I'm not perfect, okay? I'm guilty of this, and a lot of us are. But the good thing about all this is that we can always keep trying. Never give up on yourself. I don't care if you fail 100 times, then 101, guess what? We're stepping up and try again until we get it done. But there is not an option to stop trying. This is my challenge for you. Look at your life, your schedule, and notice your biggest energy leak and cut it off. Because if you don't do that, then it's going to be very hard once again to keep moving forward, because we don't want to move forward having a lot of baggage on us. We want to make it sustainable, and identifying those energy leaks is very important for us to move forward. And I don't want you to focus on a lot of them, just the biggest one, right? Let's say if you notice that you spend a lot of time on TikTok, to give you an example, then tackle TikTok. If it's a lot of time watching Netflix shows, then tackle Netflix shows. If it's always on the phone talking to that friend that is telling you the same stories over and over and over, then tackle that first. So let's go to the biggest one and tackle that. And then once we get comfortable at it, we start tackling the next one. That way, this change can be sustainable. Okay, friend? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Becoming your 2.0 is all about changing daily. It's not something that happens overnight. Little habits that we change daily for that bigger picture. And like always, thank you so much for being here. Let me know down below what is your biggest leak and how you're planning to fix it, or at least to manage it. And also don't forget, I'm gonna link my priority clarification guide down below, so you can always download it and start using that system to bring your chaos into clarity. Thank you so much for being here, and see you on the next one. Bye.